Josh. I hope everybody's good. You know, everybody's good even if we don't feel good. People think like, if I don't feel good, it means I'm not doing good. No, what are you talking about? You know, when we don't feel good, it means there's some karma that's being expiated, or there's some challenges that we're having that's driving us deeper. And so then that's not going to feel good. But then later, we're going to see like, oh, that was necessary. That took me to a deeper place in my being. I'm more higher level now, more growth. And so this was actually good. So that's why you're doing good all the time regardless. All right, I want to say that. So what are we talking? I made some notes because I don't want to miss these points. The female attraction game. How does it really work? I'm going to give a different twist on this. I'm not trying to be clever. I'm just telling you what it is. If you go straight to the core, this is what it is. Now, when I'm talking about female attraction, I'm not talking about superficial attraction. I'm not talking about them being attracted to you because you got muscles and you got gains or you got a bunch of money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, what am I talking about? See, I'm talking about a true spiritual attraction. They're attracted to your beingness, your aura, your quality of energy, and your level of consciousness. This is what they're attracted to. Now, they got to be at a certain level to be attracted to that, right? It's logical. Otherwise, the bubblegum chewing girls, if you're a bubblegum chewing guy, you're going to attract those. What's bubblegum chewing? It means you're tuned for the most part on just the human, superficial, physical level, the body, materialism, etc. You're like tuned on that. So you're going to attract other people tuned on that, okay? I don't spend time talking about that because it's worthless. I'm not not interested in that subject. So what I'm interested in is this deeper level of attraction. So how does that work? This is an energetic game that we're playing on this planet. Law of attraction, it's an energetic game. Energetic meaning like that's what's running everything. Now, there's two examples that really drive that point home. If you've been to jail or prison, energy runs that. It's just, that's what it is. They're sniffing your energy out. You go in, they're sizing you up, they're seeing like, can I work this person? Is he soft? Because, he can do something for me if he's soft. I'm going to dominate him because you're in prison. So everything is valuable. They can do something for you. If somebody's soft, it's like, okay, he can do something for me somehow. Carry out certain jobs that they don't want to do because they don't want to get in trouble, or sexual favors, or take their lunch, whatever. See? Now, another example, I haven't been in prison, by the way. I was in jail a couple times. They lock you up for anything in America. I had a suspended driver's license. I did it twice. They locked me up both times. And then I stopped doing it. Yeah, jail sucks. But I saw how it worked. And they mixed me in with felons at the time. It was crazy. They had felons and misdemeanors mixed together at the same time. Like, you don't do that, but they did it. And that was some good training, though. I had to fight for my life a couple times. Activated alpha male, But if those situations happen to you, if you've been in war or some kind of thing, where somebody's trying to take your life, you find out what you're made out of, It's good training, but I don't recommend seeking it out. That's my point. So another example is when you're if you ever been to the Amazon or in the Himalayas, any kind of jungle, like real jungle, animals operate like this. It's energetics. You see it anywhere anyway. You can see it with any animal because it's their instinct. They live by instincts. So that's how they operate. They don't listen to your word. Animals don't talk. They talk via energy and instinct. Humans are very, very superficial, Somebody can say the right things and put on a smile, and somebody say, oh, he's really nice. Meanwhile, he could be killing people at night or something. And then somebody else is just more, they don't have this act they're doing. And so they're just kind of more neutral. And then somebody else, oh yeah, they're not, they don't look too happy. See, because we're conditioned on such superficial level in the way we judge things. Animals aren't. They bypass that whole thing. They read the energy. And this is what semen retention will help you do. I don't listen to what people say too much. I'm listening where they're speaking from. What are their motives for saying what they're saying? You see, you got to be able to do that. And then, because then you can't be manipulated. If a girl comes up and she starts complimenting me somehow, oh, this and that and that, I'm feeling like, where's that coming from? Why did she just come out of nowhere and is doing that? Because I don't have the insecurity that needs that. See, if you have insecurity and inadequacies, you need that. So then you can be manipulated, and they know that, and so that they do it. Somebody who's strong inside, you don't need that. Therefore, you can actually, there's some space to evaluate, like, why is this person saying what they're saying? If you don't need anything in life, you're good. Then you can't be manipulated. You can read people. They can't manipulate you with money, with sex, with anything. You see, because you don't need anything. So therefore, you can actually soberly assess in any situation what somebody's saying to you and where they're coming from. What are their motives? You know. All right, so I went off a little bit on that. So the point, because we're talking about what are we talking about? Yeah, see, how does the female attraction game really work? So it's an energetic thing. Now here's the twist. This is the irony. If you really, really are free of needing a woman to lavish attention on you, meaning like you're just good, like she can give you attention, it's cool, you appreciate, it's fun, okay, especially if it's authentic. If they're attracted, again, to spirit, you appreciate that, but you don't need it. That's the difference. You're not going out now anymore when you go to public, in public, looking to see like which girl is interested in you by their reaction. So you don't do that anymore. Because number one, you realized it was restless, and number two, you found your own succor and stability inside yourself, so you don't need that anymore. Now here's the thing though, see? The alpha male classes, they like to try to teach that. Like it's some kind of technique. Like, look, when you like a girl, make yourself known, like let her know you're there, but don't act like you don't care though. You don't want her attention. But inside you want her attention. You gotta be honest with yourself. This is the thing. You can't learn this stuff. You don't do techniques. They're so worthless. The only good thing about them is that you do them and see they don't work. That's what's good. If you gotta do that. I'm talking to those who already see through that, and so, but when you're not interested in the female attention, it's not that it's not a cynical thing. It's not like, oh, they just want my money, or they've hurt me before, so you're not resentful. It's not that. And it's not that you actually want it and are suppressing it. See, it's not either one of those things. This is important to catch. Check your motives. If you still want it, just admit it to yourself. Like, who cares? It's not a big deal. What's a big deal is the self-honesty. You need to have self-honesty. Do this subtle introspection, because when you bring these impure motives to light, then you have a chance to transcend them. Don't just imagine to yourself like, oh, I'm above all that. I mean, you can. It's cool, but how are you going to transcend it? We got to admit something before we can transcend it. That's my point. All right, so what happens when you're truly free of wanting this, you can say this female attraction energy, you automatically are emanating, everything's frequency. Everybody's emanating a certain vibration and frequency, period. And everybody's picking up on it. It's just most of the time people aren't conscious that they're picking up on it. But we're in telepathic communication with each other all the time. You can, whenever you're talking to somebody, something's aware, like what's happening in their world, you see? So when you're free, when you're stable inside, you emanate a certain vibration. You can't fake vibration. See, somebody who's sensitive can just read they can read that stuff. Like somebody can be saying all the so-called right things. Man, I'm successful and I have really high self-esteem. Buy this course and I can teach you how to do it. But somebody that's sensitive, they can look at this person and be like, this person's full of it, man. Like I bet he's probably going to massage parlors at night or something, you know? Because you can sense those things. How can you sense it? Because you've already went through that your own self. When you transcend certain stages and levels in yourself, you can see them in others. Because we're all the same. That's the thing. Like we're all the same. The particular form or expression that takes place in one's life can vary, but the essence of it's the same. Everybody has the same issues. And so when you transcend them, you can see it in others. So once you're stable with yourself, you're emanating a certain vibration. That vibration's attractive. It's attractive to healthy people. Even the unhealthy people, it's going to get their attention, but then they might dismiss you really quick because they're going to see unconsciously, they're going to realize like, he's not really in my world. I can't really use him for anything. He's just not interested. So they just dismiss you, you know. But the higher people, they recognize this frequency of stability. They're attracted to that. They look. They're like looking. They just notice something. They may not even be thinking about anything. There may be no self-talk about it, but they're just somehow in your energy because they're focused on it. That's real attraction. Now, here's the twist. Here's the irony. And this can go on for a little bit. It's okay. You start to realize that. You start to realize that because when you're flowing, when you're vibing, you're not paying attention, and you notice maybe in your peripheral, you're like, oh man, like she's checking me out. And then the old pattern wants to milk it. So then you look a little bit, maybe milk it a little. Like, hey, what's happening? And then guess what? Frequency goes down. And then she may not be interested anymore. It's very subtle stuff. That action of trying to get a dopamine hit or going back into, you can say ego, it declines your frequency. And then the reaction from the person, they react to that present frequency, which is you're not in the height of your being now. It's like something's kind of a little hungry for attention. Then they react to that, and then they might look away. You understand how that works? That's how it works. This is how it works. So it's like, this is the joke. Like God's always making jokes on us. He's like, you're going to get everything you want when you stop wanting it. This is the joke. So let's say you're very stable and secure in yourself. You're getting a lot of looks, but you're not there to see the looks anymore. You're not noticing the looks. Because remember, to get the high frequency, to get the looks, you got to not care about the looks. Well, if you don't care about the looks, how are you going to notice that they're looking? That's the joke. Okay? And that's the point, and that's what I realized, and, you know, what to do. You know, we got to let this play out until you come to an organic doneness with this whole female attraction game. And it takes as long as it takes. If you're 20 years old, man, like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't, you just, unless you're blessed with some, you know, really spiritual karma from the beginning, like some of these saints or masters, even them, some of them, they get thrown into an ashram when they're young, and all these desires and stuff, they don't get a chance to be expressed, and then they go crazy. But there's a few that are just thoroughly done with the whole thing once they're born. I was like that with family or wanting a kid or having a wife and all. I just never had any desire. I never considered it. I never thought about it. I didn't try not to. I just never did. They kept saying, oh, wait till you get older. Okay, I'm older now, 48. And still, I'm even more far away from it now. So that could be the case too with some people. And then you might get labeled asexual or something. But most people, if you're younger, you're going to want... the 20s is your prime time where biology's screaming like, go get a girl and get her pregnant. God put that software in us to keep the planet populated, okay? So that instinct to get that female attraction is going to be strong. So you work with it, you work through it, you be conscious of what I'm saying, and then let the work do, the work will do the work. You don't need to like try to figure something out. You just listen to this message, let it do what it does, and then let your life transform in the natural timing that your destiny is unfolding with. That's what else can you do? You can't do anything else. Don't beat yourself up. Oh man, I know I shouldn't want female attraction, but I still want it. That's that's not God talking to you. That's your mind. Just let the evolutionary process happen. All right. So did I get everything? Yep. That's the joke. You get all the attraction when you stop wanting it, but then you don't notice it because you don't want it anymore. And once you notice it or start milking it, frequency goes down, you get less attraction. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.